Alright, as you can tell by the picture, and I thought that this would be fun, so today's, or rather tonight's, whichever one you want to call it, the selection leading up to me going to see Green Lantern, I thought I would talk about the most recent one, which is Emerald Knights. And I will also be talking about Rise of the Manhunters, and I will also be talking about First Flight. Rise of the Manhunters I will save for tomorrow. First Flight will be on the day that I go and see Green Lantern, early in the morning, or at least the night before that, and I'm going to do the review right straight also at night. So it's going to be kind of a nighttime uploading theme, if you want to call it that. So anyway, now that I've rambled away half of this video or so, let me get into talking about Green Lantern Emerald Knights. Now this, of course, is no surprise, another DC animated movie. And this one doesn't focus on just Hal Jordan. This one actually focuses on the history of the Green Lantern Corps itself. And this plays out very much like a comic book version of Halo Legends. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the DC crew is actually inspired by Halo Legends and decided to do the same treatment for Green Lantern. And I think that that's actually a very appropriate approach, because there's so many tales and so much rich history to the Green Lantern Corps itself and each of its members, that you could practically make a whole trilogy, if not more, like 2 or 3 trilogies of just every single character within the Green Lantern Corps itself. And one interesting aspect that I find is that excuse me, this is actually right after Hal Jordan is initiated as the Green Lantern. At least this is my presumption, as Sinestro is actually still a Green Lantern, but they allude to him becoming the leader of the Yellow Lantern Corps. Now some people were confused about this, even I was a little bit confused, but at the same time it's like, well, maybe this takes place before he actually, becomes evil. But they fight Krona, and I have to admit, everybody said that the fight with Krona was a little short-lived, and I tend to somewhat agree, but I think definitely one of my favorite stories out of this is the story of Mogo. No surprise, I love Mogo. He's one of my favorite Green Lanterns, and you can imagine why. If not, then watch this movie just for that particular part, and you'll see why. And they have excuse me. I do apologize. But they also tell the tale of the very first Green Lantern, the absolute very first Green Lantern, who was actually a scribe for the Guardians. They tell another one of Kelly Hu's character, who is a very prominent supporting character in a lot of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern comics. And she went on to become both a Black Lantern and a Red Lantern. I cannot pronounce her name for the life of me at the moment. But I thought her arc was really great. It was just as good as the whole Arbiter, Elite, watercolory samurai story that they put in there. So that to me I thought was a really nice touch. I mean, there's not much that I can really honestly say about this film or talk about that I'm sure most other people haven't said in their reviews. But I can honestly say, as a Green Lantern fan, I think that this was actually a brilliant idea to not focus so much on Hal Jordan, but have him and others actually narrate these different stories and tell the history of the Corps, and even some of the most prominent characters like Abin Sur, as being the focal point of the story of this movie while they're fighting Krona. Hell, the stories of the other Lanterns actually overshadows the whole deal with Krona. That's just something extra to tie it all in. And we kind of see, and I forget her name as well, and I'm sorry to those of you that are fans and are probably screaming at me right now, but it's almost kind of like playing X-Men Legends 1 where you played as Magma. you're basically seeing through the eyes of the newbie and the rookie just how great, these lanterns are. Kilowog's story, Mogo's story, Abinsur's, they were all great, and they were all beautifully done, I thought. Each one struck its chord, and honestly, considering that this is made by DC's animated department, this should be no surprise. So, once again, another great animated movie, and once again, a great movie that definitely does justice to the Green Lantern, mythos, I feel. So that is Green Lantern Emerald Knights. Kind of a short review, if you want to even call it a review. I consider it more my thoughts. See what I did there? Hope you enjoyed. Comment, rate, and subscribe.